Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. We'll head out to Metro Park to meet up with Jeanelle a little later in the newscast. But first, the ban to stop the sale of flavored vaping products across the state has met a roadblock. This after a district judge in Hamilton temporarily blocked the governor's ban set to go into effect next week. Instead, that judge has set an October 30th hearing on whether to make her order permanent while she decides whether Bullock's order is legal. The ruling today came in a lawsuit filed by 3 vape shop owners and their trade association, which are asking to have that ban overturned. The lawsuit said that if the ban on flavored vaping products takes effect, it will put them out of business. Bullock says he's relying on the advice of healthcare professionals in issuing that ban. So far, Montana has had 3 reported cases of vaping-related illnesses. And earlier this week, officials reported the first death. Well, a 10-year-old lawsuit alleging that the FBI is not adequately investigating crimes against Native Americans on Montana Indian reservations finally going to trial. Yesterday, U.S. District Judge Sam Haddon denied the request of the FBI to dismiss the suit. He said too many disputed facts still exist in the case, so it will proceed to a trial before him. The lawsuit was brought by the Billings family of Stephen Bear Crane, who was fatally shot on the Crow Indian Reservation back in 2005. They say the FBI accepted the killer's explanation that he acted in self-defense and did not properly investigate the death. A lawyer for the family says they are pleased that the case finally will get a full public hearing. The parties will have a pretrial conference on November 1st when the judge in Helena will set the schedule for the trial. A Wyoming man sentenced to time behind bars and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines in a horrific poaching case. KROE Radio in Sheridan reports that Greg Lambden will spend 9 months in jail and was also ordered to pay $254,000 in fines. Investigators say they found 113 deer carcasses on Lambden's property in just west of Sheridan in late 2018 with no evidence that any meat had been harvested. Investigators say they believe Lambden killed those animals, which included bucks, does, and fawns, because they were infringing on his solitude on his property. Lambden pleaded guilty to 9 felonies and 2 misdemeanors back in August. And Lambden will also serve 1 year of supervised probation after finishing his time behind bars. Well, the man who killed the nephew of Senator John Tester back in September 2016 will spend the rest of his life behind bars. John Radovich was found guilty of first-degree aggravated murder in August for the death of Robert Tester. Robert's 8-year-old daughter was also home during that brutal murder but was unharmed. Radovich accused Tester of assaulting and raping a 17-year-old girl. Well, the man who escaped a week ago from the Jefferson County Jail has been taken into custody today in Lake County. Torrey Gee has been at large since escaping from the Jefferson County Detention Center last Friday. The Lake County Sheriff says Gee was arrested shortly after 2 o'clock today after a chase near Charlo. He was found hiding in an outbuilding and then tried to flee across a field when he was apprehended by U.S. Marshals. Gee also is suspected of stealing at least 3 vehicles, including a Department of Transportation truck, while on the run in Jefferson, Madison, and Beaverhead counties. 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer, a fact that we've heard. It's also a fact that the most lives are saved from breast cancer when women get screened every year, starting at the age of 40. And that's why Jeanelle Slade is standing by live right now from Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night at the Nile Rodeo, donning her pink and passion for the cause. Jeanelle?
That's right, Russ. Tonight, the color pink, cowboys and rodeo become one as we honor survivors and celebrate those who have even lost the fight. Now, this week, I met a lady who took on cancer like no one I've ever met. She took on her diagnosis like she takes on life.
I grew up on a farm and we were a team as a family. We just worked as a family, worked together. 2 older sisters, younger brother. You know, we were just driven to work hard, and we were all in contests and whatnot, and FFA and 4-H, and I like to win, plain and simple. So yeah, that self-drive is really a lot of what pushes me in my business and my life.
And when Julie Grebe finally got her first mammogram at the age of 50, it's that drive that helped her deal with the outcome.
I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma. And it's an aggressive, fast-growing cancer, which is why there was nothing found in November. And when I had my mammogram, I had a golf ball and then a second tumor in the lymph node.
6 big rounds of chemo, 30 radiation treatments, lost hair, and a lot of great hats. And Julie is now cancer-free.
I was never afraid. I just knew this was just something I had to deal with.
Not everyone takes on cancer like Julie did, but she does know everyone needs support.
Reach out, find friends, find family members, find advocates. There are people out there. If you need emotional support to get through it, whatever you have to do, be positive.
And most importantly, for anyone putting off that mammogram, this driven Yellowstone County farm girl has a message.
Oh, for crying out loud, just go get it done. There are programs, if you can't afford it, go get checked every year and do your self-exams.
Now, Julie is so very grateful for her team at St. Vincent Healthcare and at the Frontier Cancer Center. Joining me now so we can learn a little bit more about why we're all here tonight is Pam Kaufman. She is the manager of the breast center at St. Vincent Healthcare. Thanks so much for coming in. Just overall, give us a brief overview of what the EVA project is. Tonight, $1 from every ticket sold here at the rodeo will go toward the EVA project.
Yes, the EVA project was started by one of our survivors who was diagnosed at a very young age, and she saw the need that all women need screening mammograms. So she began a fund with our St. Vincent Foundation to provide screening mammograms for all women that are uninsured, have a high deductible, or just are underinsured. So we have access.
And why is this so important to get into people's heads?
Well, Jeanelle, we always say early detection is the key to finding an early breast cancer, and statistics have shown that having annual screening mammograms beginning at age 40 will reduce dying from breast cancer by 40% in your lifetime. So it is so important, and it's an easy test, and it's quick, and we want everyone to get their screening mammograms.
All right, thanks so much, Pam. I know Q2 is a very proud sponsor with you at St. Vincent Healthcare. So come on out to Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night at the Nile Rodeo as we celebrate survivors and honor those who have lost the fight. Russ?
All right, thank you, Jeanelle. Q2's Jeanelle Slade live from Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night at the Nile Rodeo. It kicks off tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll say goodbye to excuses and say hello to the St. Vincent Healthcare Mobile Mammogram Coach. This coming Monday, the coach will be parked here outside the Q2 studios from 8 a.m. until 3:30 in the afternoon. It takes just 15 minutes to schedule your appointment for this Monday, October 21st. You can call 406-237-4373. Billings Clinic celebrated the 20th anniversary of Billings Clinic's Birthing Center today. We dug into our Q2 archives to find video from the grand opening of their center. When it opened back in 1999, it was one of the first in the area to offer an LDRP, or Labor, Delivery, Recovery, and Postpartum unit. These are designed to increase family-centered care during and after the birth through private, surgical, and birthing suites, lactation specialists, and an NICU. Since that time, the birthing center has been expanded from 12 suites to 20, and the staff grew from 14 providers to 120 today. 8 current members of Billings Clinic staff and part of the center's original group were also given recognition. And there is more news to come from across our state tonight. A nation's first new physical therapy equipment in Missoula is giving new hope to patients struggling to walk. Join me for the statewide MTN News at 9 on the CW. But first, still to come on tonight's 5:30 News. Things are about to get a little spooky in Virginia City. We're going to check out its upcoming haunted tours, and later in sports, we take a look at the surprise new 6-man football favorites after they dethroned the defending champions.
Temperatures this afternoon were right up there at average for this time of the year, even though it was a little cooler in the last few days. But the big story, the wind. We'll let you know if that will persist. The forecast is just a few minutes away.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.